Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be playing some Zoe Aphelios. This week on the Rune Talker podcast, we're planning on talking about some TF Aphelios. So I've also been getting some reps in with some other Aphelios lists, and Zoe Aphelios definitely feels like the strongest. So here's the deck list. We've got Lunari Duskbringer as a way to make Aphelios really good, Spacey Sketcher to get access to some cheap Celestial cards while also activating Aphelios, Spell Thief, because stealing your opponent's spells is just great fun. Zoe, basically just a cheap threat that can really go off. Boxtopus as the only 2-drop unit to pull with Aphelios' Crescendum. 2 copies of Guiding Touch, 3 copies of Pale Cascade, 3 Aphelios, 3 Hush, 3 Solaria Priestess, a Bastion, 3 Mountain Scryer, 2 Fangs, Veiled Temple, and Star Shaping. So we're definitely going up the curve. We're generating a lot of different Celestial cards, so Mountain Scryer ends up being super good in the list. Only thing that's a little bit questionable in this build is only having 2 copies of Guiding Touch. But this list has been serving me well so far, but that's something that I would look to change, especially if you're playing against a lot of different burn lists. You could potentially cut a Spell Thief or a Spacey Sketcher. Alright, so let's get into some games. Currently I'm playing on my Smurf account, which is in Diamond 4 now. And we'll see how we go. Essentially with this deck, the only matchup we really don't want to face is TF Fizz, but that deck is hopefully going away pretty soon, at which point there aren't really that many horrendous matchups. Alright, Talia Zoe. Not too sure what our opponent's doing here. If I had to guess, it's a Temple, a Veiled Temple deck, and they're trying to copy it with Talia. And instead of playing Aphelios as their champion, they're playing Zoe. So looking at our hand here, I mean, the only real thing we could consider is a Boxtopus to try and kill an early Zoe, if they have one. But honestly, I'd rather just find my own Zoe, find my own Aphelios start. You know, we don't even have the attack token on turn 2 to be able to reliably do that, so let's see how we go. Alright, so we found Aphelios, we found Temple. These are going to be important cards. If we can find just a bridge piece, a way to activate this Aphelios, I'll feel a lot better about our position. As it stands, I'm probably just going to play a Priestess this turn. We could get the Aphelios down. If you play Aphelios and you don't generate a Moon Weapon, once you cast 2 spells in a turn, he'll make you a random Moon Weapon, so that's an option. I think Priestess is good here, just looking for Fallen Comet, because we want to be able to Fallen Comet their Veiled Temple before they can get multiple copies of it. Their deck sort of is so much worse when they can't do that. So options here. I'd be more interested in Written in the Stars if we didn't already have Aphelios. The Warrior's not particularly good. Golden Sister can be decent, but the fact that we already have 2 Veiled Temples in hand means I think it's going to be hard to get, to have 2 free board space. I think I will just take Golden Sister though. Okay, they have their own Priestess. So they're almost definitely going to dig for a Fallen Comet as well. Yeah. I was thinking about the attack there. I don't think there's really a reason for us to do that. I mean, I'll definitely block. Okay, so they could have a Falling Comet. So our options this turn, we can play Guiding Touch into Aphelios, into a Moon Weapon. But honestly, I'd much rather have a Temple in play. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play Temple. They could obviously obliterate it. They could have a Fallen Comet from this Priestess. Or honestly, the scariest thing they could do is play their own Temple and then next turn play Talia. So I think given that, we just need to make sort of the most powerful play that we can. Alright, so at this point, we're playing a Veiled Temple. Okay. So this is their best start. Okay, so we have a few options here. Yeah. I'd love to be able to try and kill this Talia with a Boxtopus, but the fact that they're going to get 2 Temple stacks on this Talia means that's just not really going to work. So we get to convert the Guiding Touch into regular mana, and then we get to play Aphelios. He'll get the 2nd stack. Just pick up a Crescendum here. Okay. Oh boy. Alright. I really wish we'd hit that Fallen Comet. But I guess we've just got to play with what we've got. So, Calibrum or Severum. I think we'll take Calibrum here. The reasons to take Severum would be to heal our Boxtopus. Next turn with the +2 life. What do I do here? Yeah, let's just pull the Naturalist. I mean, I feel like if we're going to attack, we should kill something. I think that's going to serve us better in this position. Okay, Zoe's not bad. This Talia is definitely going to flip this game, and that's going to be an issue. Okay. So we can get up to 4 toughness, but no higher. We can't even do that mid-combat, so... Alright, I guess we are losing Aphelios here. We can't generate an extra moon weapon, which is annoying. And yeah, their deck is really humming. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play a Priestess here. Alright, we'll take the Comet now. It's not looking as good because now we're at a point where we have to Comet Talia, we have to Comet Temples. I'll go ahead and play Zoe. I'm kind of glad that they played the Warrior here. It means we're going to be able to potentially Boxtopus down this Talia. So what do we want to do next turn to make sure that that can happen? Yeah, I kind of wish we had taken Written in the Stars here. So that was a mistake. This is exactly what I thought might happen, is we just completely run out of board space. Okay, Crescent Strike could be good. Yeah, I'm going to take the Crescent Strike as a future option. If they try to develop before they attack on a future turn. So the question here is, do we want to play something pre-combat? Basically with the intention to be able to trigger the Boxtopus mid-combat. You know, I don't think so. I think we just give this Boxtopus up. It's rough if they have a way to save their Talia. But if they don't, I think this is probably fine. So we could potentially get Golden Sisters down now. I think this turn I would rather Comet. I think we're going to have to Comet the Warrior. which isn't great. This is going to trigger Temple, right? No, it isn't. So yeah, do we want the Destroyer? We probably do. It's going to be really hard for the Destroyer to get in, though. And yeah, basically what we're going to do here is we're going to play the Duskbringer. That's going to trigger the Temple, at which point we're going to be able to Fallen Comet the Warrior. Extra Talia. Do we ever kill that? God, I'm glad they played this. They played that this turn, didn't they? Yeah, interesting. Because yeah, then they didn't have board space for a third Temple. So yeah, I'm just going to comment this. Talia's going to get future stacks, but I think that's okay. And I think at this point, our game plan is to try and win with a star shaping for a huge Celestial. We can also start to get some stacks on the Destroyer. Okay, Talia's going to flip. Which is a bit of a problem. But I'm not that scared at the moment. I mean, I could stun Talia right here. But, I mean, I just don't really... If I just chump block, it's not that bad for me. Oh, come on. I loved this Temple. Alright, well now that I have additional board space... I guess I might... I mean, if I just play this... It's going to be an 8-7. Talia can't attack this turn anyway. I mean, that sounds okay. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So we have 12, 14, 21 power in play. Wait, that's not quite right. We have 19 power in play. Oh, that changes this a bit. Alright, so let's heal here. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to play this here. Okay. So this is going to force an action from the opponent, because otherwise they're just dead to this attack. So they only have 3 cards left in hand. I think this is a good turn to go for it. Okay, what are our other options here? Do we have a way to kill them still? So I could get... What? I could get +2 damage by playing Golden Sisters, killing this. 12, 14, 16, 18 if we hook with the Boxtopus. I think I like the Fangs coming in here. Oh, Equinox. $11, $13, $17, $19. Yeah, we can't quite lethal them here, I don't think. I'm just going to take the Equinox. Okay. So we actually could have gone for lethal if I had taken the Serpent and we'd replace one of these 2/3s with the Serpent. That would have been enough. I wonder which landmark they picked up there. Is that a burst spell? I don't even know. Alright, I guess it was. Okay. This is an interesting weakness of some of these landmark decks as well. Sometimes they just run out of board space. Yeah, Talia made that. So yeah, we'll see what they end up with here. All right. Yeah, that's the other wrinkle in that turn, is that their healing doesn't do anything if we can deal 20 damage in one hit. But now, yeah, they can just start healing up. Where were you last turn? We needed you. Okay. I think we should be able to win here. Next turn. Them committing all their mana. They can't even get temple stacks this turn anymore, can they? Oh, I wish they'd attacked. That would have been good for me. Alright. And I get him. Good stuff. So that's not a common matchup, but yeah, I think a lot of the things you want to think about are setting up a really big attack, using your big Celestials if you can to finish them off. Hush would have been quite good there if they had started trying to get in with Talia. So try to save that. And then obviously, a well-timed Equinox or Crescent Strike can really swing a matchup. Crescent Strike in particular is super good on those boards where your opponent has to commit to having, 3 or 4 landmarks in play. And once they start, getting rid of their Preservariums for other units to not die to a full-on attack, that's when you just start absolutely running away with games. Alright, Azeolution. This is an interesting matchup. If you can deal with their champions, it's not that threatening. But if they flip Illusion on, turn 3 or turn 4, you really, really have a lot of difficulty winning the game. So you don't really have that many tools to deal with Lucian. You really have to be able to beat it in combat. You can't just sort of Mystic Shot it or anything like that. So some of the key cards we're looking for here are, Aphelios, which thankfully we've drawn. Unfortunately, we can't get a Boxtopus attack off until turn 5 with this hand. So if they do have a fast Lucian draw, this might not be good enough. Okay. So we're going to take 5 here. We're also looking for, cards like the, Spacey Sketcher to be able to find the Serpent, the 2/1 Challenger that can help us to finish off Lucian as well. Okay, Solari Priestess. Okay. I think it might actually be better to play Solari Priestess here. Like, if we play Aphelios, we're really struggling to be able to finish this off. This lets us maintain some spell mana. It also means that we are less susceptible to certain cards they could have. So in this spot, for instance, they could have a Cataclysm, which is, start a free attack. So they could use Lucian to eat our Aphelios. I didn't develop anything last turn. And yeah, we have the outs of finding something like a Fallen Comet. So if they'd played Azir into an Emperor's Dace, we, would have had some strong options to deal with that. Okay, so what do we want to do here? It seems really hard for them to flip Lucian this turn. So I'm just going to play the Duskbringer. And I'm going to trade off with this Grizzled Ranger when they attack. I'll block with the 1/2. They could have Shaped Stone to give +1/+1, but I'd rather pull that out of their hand here than have them have access to the Shaped Stone with the Fleet Feather Tracker. I think I'm just going to play the Aphelios. The reason being that we have the Pale Cascade to buff Aphelios out of Fleet Feather Tracker damage range. And obviously, like, if they have, you know, Shaped Stone, it's not great for us, but I still think it's okay. And then we're gonna take 6 here, so we are taking a bit of a beating. Okay, I don't mind losing to Sharp Sight quite as much because there's not a realistic way for us to play around it. And honestly, the Sharp Sight would have stopped the Crescendum from eating the Lucian next turn anyway. So one thing which is a real risk in this matchup, which we're running into right now, is because we have to use challengers to kill Lucian. If we develop a challenger, they have a really good opportunity to play a Brightsteel Protector to protect the Lucian. So thankfully that doesn't happen here. So in this spot, I'm thinking about if I should play my Zoe first and get an attack off. But I think that's too greedy. I think I'm just going to go for this attack. Because if I play Zoe, I'm planning to Hush if they have another Sharp Sight. Which means I would get +1 card on Zoe, but I'm just a little frightened about some of the options that I give them, or maybe at that point they'll decide to play, you know, a Brightsteel Protector or whatever else that they might have, you know, decided not to play for whatever reason. Okay. You have 2 of those. Wow, okay. You've got it. Alright, and have the dice. What's this on? I think 1 unit's died. Alright, so I'm going to play Zoe. Yeah, I'm going to play Zoe with the intention to Fallen Comet. Oh, it's in 2 die. Okay. Oh yeah, the 3/1 Scout as well. Okay, so they develop a unit first, which isn't that good for us either. Alright, we'll kill this Lucian. If we'd been able to clear the Lucian more easily, this is not the worst matchup. Alright. That was a misplay by me, actually. So I just realized I'm going to have to chump twice to survive here. So I should have blocked Zoe on the 3/1 and a 2/1 on one of these 3/4s. The reason being the Fangs can hit the Serpent, and then the Serpent would be able to finish one of these units off. But now it just gets an additional point of health for no real benefit for me. And we did hit the Serpent too. Oh, that's alright. It looks like they've got I would guess a Cataclysm here. Relentless Pursuit, okay. Yeah, Pursuit makes things a little bit tricky here. We're definitely paying for that mistake that I made last turn. Oh, and a Cythria. Alright. Well played, opponent. Can't beat that. Yeah, interesting game. I think if we'd just been able to finish off that Lucian without having to then commit 6 mana to killing it, we probably could have won that game. Definitely an interesting one. I think that's a pretty reasonable matchup for this deck as well. Obviously, if you're playing as the Lucian against it, just really mulligan to those aggressive Lucian starts. Okay, LeBlanc, Sivert, Darius. We have even attacks, so we'll be attacking on turn 4. I mean, I don't hate keeping a Boxtopus. We can't hit too many good spells. These 2 4-drops are just, a little bit too low impact. I wouldn't consider Spell Thief. So it's really Boxtopus or nothing here. I think I will take a Boxtopus. Unfortunate that we draw another one. This really hurts us later on. I think I might pitch a Pale Cascade. So what are we looking for? So we can take... Yeah, Moon Silver and Crescent Strike are both pretty good options. The question is, are we going to try to enable a turn 3 Aphelios draw if that gets offered to us? Or do we take the Crescent Strike? I think I'm going to take Crescent Strike just because I can see their deck having turns where, they develop a flipped Darius pre-combat and then we get to stun a Darius and a LeBlanc or something to that effect and end up in a much better position. I think I'll pass here. We'll see what they do. See if they develop anything. Okay, Duskbringer's not bad. Just play that out here. We're going to take 5 from this LeBlanc. Oh, that's a waste from the opponent because I'm definitely taking 5. I'm not sure. I think that's a mistake by the opponent. They're down 1 spell mana. They're down the option of being able to play this card in the future. And, we're on 15 now. I think I wouldn't have blocked. And, I don't know. I just don't think that really helps our opponent here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do this. Okay, that works. They could play a Sivir here. Alright. I mean, they're not going to play Sivir into a Boxtopus, and I can't not make that trade. So I don't think that's a mistake. Alright, I'm going to take the Messenger here. Try to draw closer to some of our key cards. So this is a spot where I'd consider Crescent Striking, but I think we can do better. The Warrior is close to being good. Written in the Stars, not a bad option. Golden Sisters, I mean, that life gain seems pretty good. It's just if they play a Darius, it kind of gets bricked. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to burn a Hush here. Play a Boxtopus. Oh, nice. They're starting to go off. I mean, yeah, I'm going to play Golden Sisters. If they play a Darius, I don't think it's that bad for us. Okay. We still kill Sivir. We have these cards in play. Darius isn't that close to flipping. Alright, so options here. We can Spell Thief. I don't think they've played anything we'd really want. They've played a Whispered Words. Have they played anything else? Heavy Blade Fragment. Okay. This is also a turn where we could Crescent Strike, potentially. I think I'm just going to play the Priestess here. See what we find. Play Traveller for a bunch of value. Taking the Golden Sisters. Is that any good? I think I'm going to take the Traveller. I'm going to try and kill the Darius here. I think with the Lifelinker. Lifelinker Pale Cascade. Yeah, that's probably good. I can probably do a lot of damage with this thing. I mean, hopefully this works. I'm tapped out of Hush now. So there's a chance it doesn't. Oh. Okay, that's not good. That hurts a lot. So what, so I take 6 there. So even if I'd blocked with the 4-3, that would have happened. I can't Spell Thief anything relevant. And I couldn't either, so... Yeah. Interesting. So I'm definitely playing the Fangs because I want to try to hit the Serpent to kill this Darius in combat. I mean, what else can I play here? Then my options are really Zoe versus the Traveller. I think I'd rather play a Zoe. So I'm going to lead with Zoe. It does a few things. It lets me get more stacks onto the Zoe by playing her first. It also means my opponent might be less likely to play around the Serpent. Or, you know, if they've got a removal spell, they might play it on the Zoe first. Yes, I'm taking the Messenger here. It trades with one of these units. I think I'm attacking like this. Oh, that's really fucking... that's scary. That is scary. Oh, no. Okay. Well, we're dead. We just can't win from here. All their units are going to have Spell Shield. And then there's just nothing we can do. Okay. Minus 26, eh? Let's put the most toughness we can there. Ugh. I mean, I can't imagine this working, but we don't really give anything up here. Maybe we're going to whisper words into something. No star shaping. So if we hush this, they all lose Spell Shield. Alright. GG. Yeah, a little bit of a rough one there. We got close though. I think that's generally a favoured matchup. I think our opponent's plan there was pretty smart as well. Okay. I'm assuming this is going to be pretty similar to the first list we played today. They're going to be trying to copy the Veiled Temple. I'm just going to keep this whole hand. All these cards seem really good. I'm assuming that they're going to be playing that Talia value game. So turn 1, we get in with Zoe. And then... Alright. Alright, okay. Well, I guess we didn't really need to plan past turn 1. I haven't really had that happen before, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm guessing that's a good matchup for me then. We've managed to avoid playing against TF Fizz, which is one of this deck's biggest weaknesses. Yeah, we'll see how we go. I'm really liking this deck, honestly. It's got a lot of cool plays to it. We haven't really had a game yet where Aphelios has really gone off, but you can do some really, really cool things with Aphelios. This is a pretty favourable matchup. If you can sort of survive that early onslaught, then you can really start to go off if you have a Hush to answer the Nasus. So, I've got a couple of questions here. Do we want to keep Temple? Do we want to keep a Duskbringer when we've already got a Zoe? I think the answer to both is yes. We just want to smooth out some of our early plays. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to Duskbringer, trade off with this Dunekeeper. Okay. Yeah, no reason to trade with the 1/1 get there. Just going to get in with both. No, I think I'm going to leave this 2/1 back just in case they do end up having a Ravenous Butcher. I'll definitely want to have access to that. And playing the Spacey Sketcher after combat because I want to discard the super cool star chart. So what does the Serpent hit? I think it hits a lot of stuff. Crescent Strike can be pretty good on a turn where they might develop Nasus and have a really good attack. Okay. Okay, that's pretty strong. So what am I going to do? So I have a couple of options here. So I could play the Solari Priestess, except that I'm going to take a bit of damage here. I think it's better for me to pass, because that way I can guarantee a Veiled Temple stack. So I'm going to pass, they're going to attack, then I'm going to develop a Boxtopus to deal with this 4/3. Then I'm going to play next turn Veiled Temple, Dusk Petal Dust to, spend my 1 remaining mana, play the Serpent, get a trigger. And once that all happens, I'm going to get the +1/+1 on Boxtopus, which isn't really going to matter because it's going to trade off. But then I'm also going to, get the mana back and just have a more powerful turn. Get partly around this weakness of the Veiled Temple. Oh, that's such a good draw for us here, actually. The only draw that would have been better is Aphelios. Okay. I don't really love that play by the opponent, honestly. So we'll go ahead, we'll do this. And then we could get this Boxtopus down. I think I'm just going to pass though. Banking the mana isn't that bad, especially with this Solari Priestess. Could find us something good. I definitely wish I had that other Boxtopus in play now, but this is fine. I'll take Written in the Stars. Wow. I mean, I'm really happy about that, but I'm surprised to see that happen there. I mean, I guess I'll just play another Boxtopus because it seems like they're kind of scared of that. So what, we want to stop them developing a Thresh next turn if we can? I think I'm just going to bank the mana here. Okay, perfect. We wanted Aphelios. We still have one Boxtopus left, I think. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to take Crescendum. This is hard for them to kill as well. Take a Calibrum. And now we're really starting to take a hold of this game. They don't really have like vengeance or ways to actually kill this Aphelios. So we don't actually need this Bastion. And by pitching it, we're going to get an extra Moon Weapon. So do we want a unit? I don't think we want this. We definitely don't need Moon Silver with this hand. Crescent Strike could be quite good depending on the board state. So let's go ahead and take that. I mean, Severum isn't the worst. Because we could heal up this Boxtopus. I will do that actually, because next turn if they play a Thresh, they could kill this Boxtopus. We've also played all three of our Boxtopuses. So cycling to Crescendum isn't really that important anymore. Okay, now I get in for 12. And now this Crescent Strike is presenting a problem for our opponent as well. Oh, that was a good draw. Playing this Mountain Scryer is really good here because it's basically going to force our opponent into committing to the board. Sorry, committing to this Nasus attack because they can't just wait. They're just going to lose if they wait. But they're going to lose if they go for it, so... Tough spot for the opponent, but yeah, that's definitely a great matchup for this deck. Yeah, the thing I like a lot about this deck is just you have so many decisions, like every turn. You're either, using Spacey Sketcher, a super cool Star Chart, a Mountain Scryer, you name it. You're just getting so many decisions each turn. I'm just going to toss this whole hand back. Just looking for that Aphelios, that Zoe. Oh, that was cool. So yeah, I'm just going to play Duskbringer, get in for 2. Yeah, I'm going to get Zoe down. Pitch the pedal at this point. So what do I want? How good is Equinox going to be? The main follower that I would probably want to silence. I could have the 5/1 Challenger. Would I even want to silence that? They have the 6/4, which is definitely something that I want to silence, but that can be quite difficult to silence. I could take Moonglow. I think I might take Moonglow. I mean, the charge is okay, and I am kind of beating down here, so maybe that was the pick, but I think I'm just going to be open attacking this turn. So I don't really want to commit to having that on my turn 5 attack, but maybe it's still good. Oh wow, that's really, really good for us. Just going to bank some mana here. No reason to do anything. Let's keep our options open. See what we find. Okay, they play a Sivir. Yes, let's play Priestess. What do we find? I'm interested in Golden Sister and Written in Stars. I think I'm going to take the Sister, though. Okay, they have an Exhaust. I mean, I guess that's fine. It's a little bit annoying. Don't get me wrong, I wish they hadn't done that, but... what do we do now? Do we star chart? Yeah, I kind of like playing a star chart here. I would take a Moon Silver or a Serpent pretty highly. I think I've got to take the Trickster here. This game is looking like a beatdown game from us. Oh, that was a good draw. So I'll go ahead, I'll play the Trickster. I don't mind if they play removal on the Trickster. Honestly, we're trying to bait their removal out. So they kill the Trickster instead of this Boxtopus because we really want to deal with the Sivir. So their best play at this point would probably be like a House Spider. Yeah, Dune Keeper does the exact same thing. So go ahead, we'll do this. Now their best play is a way for Sivir to deal its damage to the Boxtopus. I am completely fine with that. That play basically telegraphs that they probably have another copy of Sivir in hand, and they're worried about getting killed before they can use the value in their hand. They might have more copies of Whispered Words. Yep. Okay, so what options do we have here? I mean, Golden Sisters is quite tempting, but we're not even getting in for that much damage with it next turn. I mean, honestly, we could play Golden Sister and then we could just Moonglow the Elusive unit. I think that might be my play here. If they have another Exhaust... Oh, okay. Do they have 2 copies of Exhaust? Okay, interesting. I think that's fine. I think this card is less important to my plan. Like, I have so much healing in hand. I'm still on 20. I think I might just have to go for the kill before they can really do anything about it. So I think I'm going to develop Solari Priestess. There's no card I could hit off Solari Priestess that I would play pre-combat. So I'm going to open attack. Okay, Whispered Words. They only have 1 copy of Whispered Words left, which is good for us because that card is great. Sivir is going to flip in the next combat, I think. Yeah, for Xaxes. So I need to be careful of that. So what am I looking for here? I need to Star Shaping this turn or next turn. The reason is I want to find a Celestial and try to kill them on my next attack. So I don't want to Star Shaping yet. Yeah, so I think I'm going to lead with Solari Priestess. Then I'm going to play the Fangs. Next turn I'm going to Star Shaping. I think I want Written in Stars more than I want Falling Comet. The issue really is... Oh, Crescent Strike's a good one. The issue really is... Just trying to kill them as soon as I can. I'm definitely the beatdown deck in this game. Okay, that's good. That means Civ is not going to flip this turn if I play Crescent Strike. But that means I can't Star Shaping into a big Celestial anymore. So what's more important for me here? Could also Star Shaping. What happens if we hit Aphelios? Not that much. I think I will Crescent Strike. And I would normally knock the Spell Shield off this unit, but the fact that this will stop Siva from flipping unless they develop another unit is a real tiebreaker for me here. Because that means they actually have to do something. Okay, so that's the third Whispered Words. So at least we don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay. You got it. Okay. So 410. So Civil won't flip until this happens. LeBlanc is going to flip. I can play Pale to save my Silver Sister. Or I can use Pale to win this trade. So I guess the question is, how long can I let the game go for? If they have a Shaped Stone as well, this play doesn't work. If they Shaped Stone here, I'm in so much trouble. So I think I'm going to go for it here. Okay. At least this way we still get this trade and we don't eat an additional 3 points of damage to the face. Yeah, that +3/+1 did kind of ruin us there, though. Unfortunate. Letting Siva flip a little bit sooner. I didn't really think about that. So what can I do here? So I think getting a Temple down is good. Getting an Aphelios or Zoe down is okay. It's only okay because at this point I'm expecting them to have, bloody business and ways to answer my champions in hand. Why are they emoting me? Am I dead? Okay. It's weird. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get in. I'm going to play Bastion here. It means this is a lethal threat by itself. Okay. Not much I can do about that. Civa's Ricochet. Sure. So I think I would like to draw a blocker. Okay. So what happens if I go to 19? I block here. So 18, 20. So yeah, I have to find another blocker to not lose. Okay, that's another blocker. I guess I take the messenger. Okay. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and play this. I don't think there's a downside to that. I guess there is. If they had Shunpo and they dealt 2 damage to me, then that would be a real issue. But, you know, let's see if this is good enough to win or if our opponent's emoting was correct. We can also grow this to make it a little bit bigger as well, which makes some of their fight spells a little less likely to work. All right, awesome. So, yeah, managed to take that one away, even though our opponent was prematurely emoting quite a few times. So, goes to show, even if it looks really bad with this deck, just keep fighting. And, yeah, you can pick up the win even in some really rough-looking positions as long as you have a plan. And, yeah, our plan was deal some damage with elusives, finish them off with the Celestial, and we managed to hit on the star shaping, and our opponent's deck can't really deal with that. So thanks for tuning in, and deck code will be in the description. So feel free to give it a go.